Win a platinum medal from a bunch of Californian judges. I'm entering into a new stratosphere that I never thought that I would ever get close to.
Sometimes when you do something on a whim, you end up in a really good place. Mark wrapped up a very successful 35-year career in corporate America and decided to buy a ranch in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And on a whim, he thought he'd start a vineyard and start making wines. And he didn't know anything about vineyards or anything about making wines. In this short clip, we chat with Mark about the winemaking process, how fun it is, how crazy it is. We discuss a little bit about why people don't step out, why they don't get outside their comfort zone and do something crazy and different, scary. And he has an interesting thought about that. But I thought I'd start him out as we were chatting about his vineyard with a question that occurred to me as we were chatting. What was your backup plan?
So you do an exploratory recon trip to UC Davis for a weekend of wine drinking, wine
One
study.
weekend, yeah.
One weekend. On that plane ride back, did you ever consider, okay, what's the second option to do with the ranch?
No. You know what? You know how my dad taught me how to swim? He threw me in the deep end of the pool. Hey, that's a true story, and you do figure it out. But Missy and I dove in with both feet into the deep end of the pool. I've only had second thoughts one time in the vineyard, and this is another illustration of my book. We had the big Snowmageddon event in 2021, and I came down here in the spring and learned that at least 1/3 of my vineyard was killed by that freeze. And as I was walking through looking at the damage, when it was finally apparent that it was damaged, because I wouldn't know until the spring, but then it started to become apparent, I definitely sat there and said to myself, I don't know, maybe this is time. Maybe this is God telling me that we should stop this and do something different. And I carried that around with me for a good 24, 48 hours until I realized what a jerk I was being. And then I said, hey, this is an opportunity. It's a true opportunity. And so now we have 2 different varietals of grapes growing out there. So we went from 2 types to 4 types. Right now, the growing season, I'm here probably 2 or 3 days every week.
Well, and the nice thing is from April to August, September, when it all needs your attention, it's so pleasant in the middle of Texas in the summer.
Well, it's pleasant up until about June, and then the blast furnace gets turned on, and you're right. So again, very blessed. We harvest the 4 weekends of July, and I've really learned, and we get a lot of volunteers. We have a big crowd down here. It's a lot of fun. I start everybody picking grapes at around sun up on Saturday morning, and I can watch the productivity curve during the morning, because as the sun goes up, the productivity goes down. And usually about 11 a.m., I don't care where we are, we stop because it's just getting too hot for people. And then the next day now, we crush the grapes, we process the grapes.
And is there a drawing with all your volunteers as to who gets to be Lucille Ball?
Yeah, well, we actually have done the Lucille Ball tradition almost every year, but we have this little blue wading pool, and we take a bunch of grapes and we put it in the wading pool, and so the women dress up in their Lucille Ball outfits, and we play Italian music, and they romp around in the pool for a few minutes. It's hilarious, and it's a lot of fun.
And when you say, I introduce this, you literally mean I'm Mark. I mean, you don't have a wine master.
Oh no, it's me and my copy of Winemaking for Dummies. That's my reference book, and YouTube. But Winemaking for Dummies, people laugh, but it's got a lot of really good stuff in there.
You mentioned that you've won awards already.
Oh yeah, we have. Our white wine has done exceptionally well. Our 2022 version of our white wine now has just recently been awarded a platinum medal, and it was awarded best in class for hybrid grapes. and it was given a Wine Spectator rating of 94 by the Los Angeles Winemaking Challenge. And so, hey, if I can win a platinum medal from a bunch of Californian judges, I feel like I'm entering into a new stratosphere that I had never thought that I would ever get close to. Yeah, so I feel pretty good about that.
What's the name of your wine?
Desperado, with a C, not Desperado, Desperado. So Missy and I, when we were at UC Davis, we had dinner and we started, it's one of those cool nights that I'll never forget, where we're having dinner and we're brainstorming, like, what do we want to call this? So both our grapes are Spanish derivative grapes, so we knew we wanted a Spanish name. Plus, we live in Texas and we want to honor the Spanish heritage. We were tossing out words, and Descarado means sassy or cheeky. Bold, brazen is another loose definition for descarado in Spanish. And then our fanciful name for each of the different types of wines, I wanted to pay tribute to the great state of Texas. So I tried to find iconic Texas images or events. So our white wine is called Spindletop for the first oil gusher in Beaumont. Our rosé is called Chisholm Trail for the largest cattle drive. I mean, if you think of Texas, you think of cattle and oil, right? And then one of our reds is called Alamo, which even to this day I'm shocked that I was allowed to use. So our other red is called Independence, Texas Independence, and I've got an image of them signing when Santa Anna surrendered. And then we've added Indian paintbrush. So I've got a label that's Indian paintbrush, but now I'm recognizing that the creative part of my brain is wanting to do something that's a little bit more screwy. So I'm hoping next year we'll have even more projects, and so I want to do stuff like that, and yeah, no regrets. Just the curtain's coming, so just try to do as much as you can and enjoy life as much as you can.
What do you think keeps people from doing that?
I think the biggest thing is people are frightened. Will the money last? Will I be lonely? Will I have enough to do? Maybe they get too involved on the inside of their own mind. I think fear is just unfortunately a really powerful drug as far as like preventing you from doing things. And man, yeah, you got to fight that. That's no good. I mean, yeah, if I would have thought about all the things that could have gone wrong, there's no way I would have done the vineyard. No way.